Chapter 16, Rebirth. Something deep within Sunny stirred to life. With a sharp gasp, he grabbed at his chest, peering into the darkness around him, confused yet alert. The sensation wasn't painful, just profoundly unfamiliar. It was as though something ancient and dormant had been jolted awake inside him, flooding his core with mysterious energy. Yet this wasn't a force entering him from outside. No, it was his something that had always been a part of him, now rising from slumber. The energy coursed through every inch of his being. Emotions sharpened, clarity surged, and then his body began to change. It felt like a tiny sun had ignited at the center of his chest, sending waves of warmth outward, reaching his limbs, his extremities. Under this internal heat, his entire physiology transformed. Bones restructured, muscles reknit themselves, blood pulsed with renewed vitality. He was changing. Strength replaced frailty. Speed and vigor surged through him. He was evolving, no longer the beaten-down street rat from the past. With the scars of the first nightmare etched into his resolve and his newfound power awakening, Sunny was becoming someone formidable. Eventually, the heat within him waned, replaced by a calm, cooling sensation that soothed every old ache and pain. It swept up through his spine and into his skull, finally settling in his eyes. Suddenly, he saw two realities at once. One was the star-filled void. The other was something entirely different. An endless, silent ocean cloaked in night. Suspended above it hung a lonely, dark sun. This was his soul sea, but it was not how he had expected it to appear. Traditionally, a radiant soul core illuminated the soul sea, filling it with warmth and brilliance. His, however, was dim, deceptively transparent, cloaked in shadow due to the absence of light. That wasn't the only oddity. He should have been alone in this space. It was, after all, a reflection of his soul. Yet, he couldn't shake the feeling that something, or some things, were watching him, shifting just beyond his line of sight. Formless, unseen, but very much present. Ignoring the unease for now, Sunny focused on the dark star. Orbiting it were two glowing spheres, his first memories, the silver bell and the shroud of the puppeteer. He smiled faintly. One day there would be many more, maybe even an echo or two if fate was kind. But his reverie was broken. The voice of the spell echoed through the emptiness. Aspect, ability, awakening. This was the turning point. Everything from this moment onward, his role in the dream realm, his strength, his survival, hinged on the ability he would receive. Combat abilities meant frontline battles. Sorcery meant devastating magical power, albeit fragile. Utility powers had their own crucial importance, often behind the scenes but deeply valued in both realms. And then, there were healers, incredibly rare, incredibly powerful. Aspect ability obtained. Name, Shadow Control. Sunny quickly summoned the runes. Curiosity pulled him toward the ability's description, but instinct made him pause. First, he checked his updated profile. Name, Sunless. True name, Lost from Light. Rank, Dreamer. Core type, Shadow Core, Dormant. Shadow Fragments, 12/1000. He froze. Where others had a Soul Core rank, he had something entirely different. A Shadow Core. Sunny stared at the term, trying to comprehend its meaning. He had never heard of anyone with a different type of core. This could explain the darkened soul sea. And beneath that, another surprise, Shadow Fragments. Not soul shards, like everyone else relied on to grow stronger. 12 fragments had already been collected. But how? Was he on an entirely different path than all other awakened? If so, it could be a blessing. Without the need to fight for soul shards, he could rise in strength faster, freely, independently. But it was also unnerving. He didn't yet know how these fragments were acquired. He would need to tread carefully. Satisfied for now, he returned to the runes. Memories. Silver Bell. Puppeteer's Shroud. Echoes 9. Attributes. Fated. Mark of Divinity. Child of Shadows. Aspect. Shadow Slave. Aspect rank. Divine. Ability. Shadow Control. Description. Your shadow is not just a reflection. It is a willful ally, loyal and alive. Sunny blinked. What does that even mean? Before he could reread it, more runes manifested, and the spell's voice returned, grim and absolute. Power always comes with a price. A flaw has been assigned. Your flaw is... Sunny's heart dropped. His eyes scanned the new runes, and horror dawned on him. No, 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 no.